and thank you for purchasing this video course. I hope you guys don't mind, but as the Cowgirl Astrologer, I gotta be in style. And this is just an example of what is to come as we see this amazing historical transit take place. These type of transits, specifically Jupiter, only happens once every 12 years. So these are 12-year cycles. So following what Jupiter is doing and how it is affecting your chart is very important. Jupiter is the part of you that vibrates inside of you, that spirituality, that longing to learn, the philosophies of life. Mercury is more of a local teacher, basic things. Going to the bank, coming back, going to dinner, coming back, going to work, coming back. But Jupiter, because it's a slow-moving planet, is here to teach you something incredibly amazing each year. There's a theme. There's a theme behind every year. Now, usually, you're going to see Jupiter making that transition around June, July, August, as I went back in history. So the last time that we had Jupiter in Leo was August 1st of 2002 through the whole year. So as we begin this study right now, and I shared with you guys, it's something you can watch, just listen to, but if you'd like to participate, or even if you know where your placements are, it's going to help this video, this course, be really powerful for you, okay? So first of all, I'm just going to do a few minutes here of explaining how to get the most out of this study that we're going to do together. When you look at your chart, you're going to look at your ascendant, your rising sign. That is the energy that was bestowed upon you the moment, the second that you were born. That's what makes you different from everybody else. That's what sets your life path. Now, if you don't know your birth time, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know anything. I don't know my birth time. No, there's so much more we can still do. But we do miss out on more specific dates if you wanted to do real predictive astrology. But for general astrology, we'll still be able to work with your chart. So what you guys are going to look at to start is, where is your ascendant, where is your sun sign, and where is your moon sign? Okay. The sun and the moon, being personal planets, they also will vibrate those themes that play out. So for example, okay, follow me here. This is the hardest part. For example, if you have an ascendant, say in Aries, okay, your fifth house is going to be in Leo. If you have a sun in Aries, you are also going to feel the fifth house Leo theme throughout your life, okay, because the sun also gets that line of vibration. If you have a moon sign in Aries, you also are going to get the theme of Leo being in your fifth house, okay? The most dominant, the one that we try to calculate specific dates by, is the ascendant. So as you're listening to me throughout this video and I say, okay, we're going to talk about Taurus. If you have an ascendant, a sun, or moon in Taurus, take a listen and see if that applies to you. Or if you know somebody, you'll be able to listen for them a little bit, maybe give them some guidance. So I hope that makes sense. I'm also going to talk about today if you have any planets in Leo, and we're going to do mainly the personal planets, which we're going to do the ascendant, sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. So when you're opening up your chart right now, I want you to look and I want you to say, do I have any planets in Leo? Also, it's very important to take a look at the way your houses fall. Because sometimes, for example, if you're an Aries rising, that would be your first house. Typically, your second house then would be in Taurus, your third house would be in Gemini, your fourth house would be in Cancer, your fifth house would be in Leo. You see where I'm going? Sometimes, though, based on the time you were born, that will shift, and you might have Gemini in the third and fourth house. Or it might skip Gemini and you might go straight to Cancer. So you want to look at specifically how your houses line up. If I'm talking to an Aries and I say, you know, Aries, you have Leo in the fifth house, and here's what that means. But you say, I'm an Aries rising, but I have Leo in the sixth house. Well, then you're going to listen to when I talk about Leo being in the sixth house. Okay, but you will also get, you know, a blend of those themes. So we're complicated. We're complicated. I want to make this very simple for you. So I just wanted to kind of go over that. This is part of understanding how to begin to study your own chart and others. For those of you who want to take this on a higher level. Okay. So, excuse me, I'm going to say one more thing so it doesn't drive my Virgo crazy for the wind and my allergies right now. I am a Virgo, Sun in Virgo, Pisces rising, Pisces moon. And so I'm full of allergies. So excuse that. But today is the day I have to do this video. I've taken Benadryl and I'm persevering. So I hope that's not too distracting with the wind. All right, here we go. So first of all, let's take a look at the fact Jupiter is coming into the collective. It's coming into the energy of where we are right now. The last year, Jupiter has been in Cancer, and it's been all about going home. It's been all about home business, going back to family, slowing down, enjoying life, healing. There's been a lot of emotional stuff with families and mothers and women and relationships this last year for a lot of us. It's been an intense year, but the purpose was to do a healing in all of our lives. So if you're watching this video right now and you can identify that, yeah, I've been through a lot this year, but I feel like there's some healing and I know where I want to go. Now, I'm just going to give you guys an example, okay? In April of 2001, when Jupiter was in Cancer last, I bought this piece of property that I'm sitting on. It's a 12-acre horse ranch here in Menifee, California. And it was barren land, and I began to build the dreams, my dreams. I ran a 70-horse ranch. You know, I had a very successful business. Sometimes in life, based on how your chart is set up, you may end up going through a series of Saturns, like one after another, that really affect your life. Because my chart has a lot of Virgo, Libra, and, well, Pisces, and Leo, during 2005, all the way until now, a lot of my chart got really highlighted. The good news is I've gotten through the worst of it. But when I started this project, before it got stopped, and before my life took a whole nother direction, Jupiter was in Cancer 12 years ago. So here I am 12 years later, and I've risen from the ashes. I'm rising from the ashes as we speak. And I am in the process right now of rebuilding this dream that I started 12 years ago. And this time, I am completely equipped, and I'm a completely different person. So that's what I want you guys to look at, is not just how it's affecting you right now, but take a look at history in your own personal lives. What was going on, and do you feel that same energy, that same idea, that same dream starting to resurface again? Okay, depending on how old you are. So let's go ahead and start with Aries. Aries, Jupiter will be highlighting Leo in your fifth house. Now, I'm telling you guys right now, there's no better place to have it, because Leo rules the fifth house. Leo is the fifth house. The fifth house is children, creativity, drama. I mean, everything that we watch on TV, any entertainment that you watch, there is Leos surrounding it, bringing it to the surface. With Jupiter in Leo, it's also going to trine your first house in Aries. So now you're going to get, instead of this watery, emotional family stuff that you've been dealing with all year, this is your year. Your fifth house, it's kind of like what you guys are seeing right now with me through this video. This is my fifth house. This is not so much my reputation to the world, but how I appear to you right now. Now, I have the fifth house in Cancer. So all year long, my fifth house is just highlighted by Jupiter. And if you look back at my channel over the last year, you are going to see this whole creative development unfold. You're going to see the cycles of my life, the times when I was dealing with heavy stuff, and the times Jupiter came in and washed it all away and put me right back where I was supposed to be. So Jupiter now is going to move into Leo, highlighting your fifth house. So I'm just going to say, to prepare you guys, if you are an Aries rising, sun, or moon, this could influence you. If you have had an idea, if you've got something brewing, if you've got a business proposal, if you've got a plan, this is the year to get it out there, you guys. This is the year to get it out there. In the entertainment world, out in the limelight, out in public. My son, I'll give you a perfect example, has a son in Aries. And I call him my Aries sun. And he started a moving company. And now, this last couple months, he's been making these really cool YouTube videos, you know, doing how-to moves and how-to this and how-to that. And suddenly he's like been obsessed with developing this idea to get his business out into the world. And he's using the entertainment factor. There you go. Fifth house in Leo. Jupiter is already shining through right now, you guys. Because it's a year-long transit, we're on the cusp of it right now. Okay? We're at the tail end of Jupiter in Cancer as I'm doing this video. And on July 17th, in 2 weeks, you know, we're going to be entering into this energy. And then it's got to get really going. Okay? Another important thing to look at, I'm just, again, this is a educational video. I'm teaching you guys how to work with your chart and begin to learn how to look at your chart. I want you guys to look at your chart and say to yourself, do I have Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, or Ascendant in Leo, and at what degrees? So if you have Jupiter in Leo, this is considered your Jupiter return right now. This is your year if you have Jupiter in Leo in your chart. This is the 12-year cycle that Jupiter comes back to put you back where you belong, to make things right, to open miraculous doors, to expand who you are. If you have Jupiter in Leo at, say, 27 degrees, you are going to feel a beam from Jupiter towards the end of the transit when it highlights within 5 degrees before or 5 degrees after that degree that's in your chart. Okay, so at 27 degrees, we're just using this as an example. When Jupiter is in Leo at 27 degrees, which would probably be about June of 2015, this is approximate, that's when the doors of heaven are going to open for you. I have been following Jupiter in so many people's lives, and I've seen this over and over and over again. So now, keep that in mind about the degrees. You know, you're kind of looking at all of these things. Let's talk to you, Taurus. Where is Jupiter going to highlight your life? So if you have a sun, ascendant, or moon sign in Taurus, this theme might apply to you. So for the Taurus, Leo is in your 4th house. Okay, now your 4th house, this is kind of exciting for you guys because your 4th house is your home. It could be the home that you've been raised in if you are younger watching this video. If you are older, in my generation, 60s, you may have your own home, your own life. Also could connect to your home that you grew up with, your mother, your father, your sister. The 4th house usually is your mother. And the 4th house is going to be highlighted by Jupiter in Leo. You are a star this year. Your home is going to take on a whole new energy. The Taurus has really been through a lot because of Saturn and Scorpio. I've talked about that in some of my other videos on my channel. And you guys have had, a lot of issues to deal with regarding relationships. And it's been very heavy and emotional. And the Taurus really doesn't like to have to deal with that heavy stuff. But you've been kind of forced to do it. Realize that people have many different dynamics. And you've had to really try to figure out how these relationships work. What you've been through is going to be redeemed this year. Okay? So what do I want you to do? I want you to get ready to have some fun. I want you to get ready to feel like a princess, to feel like a queen, to feel like a king, to feel like a prince within your home. And I want you to look at your family with excitement and see what they're doing, because there's going to be a lot of positive energy around your whole family. Somebody in your family might make it big right now, out in the world, out in the entertainment world. You might have somebody in your family, or maybe your child. Maybe there's some of you that have kids that you're trying to get into the entertainment business. Now might be the time. Okay, so Taurus this is a good time for you, a good year for you, a good year for your home. Geminis. Gemini. Jupiter in Leo is going to light up your 3rd house. This is your communication to your siblings, your communication to the world around you, more local, internet exchanges, emails, textings. Now, Gemini, you guys have been kind of in the background hiding out, just trying to kind of, there's been so much water in the air. You've been trying to keep your wings from getting wet. But guess what? This is going to be good for you because Gemini and Leo works really well together as well. Okay? It's in harmony with each other. So not only is Jupiter and Leo going to highlight your 3rd house, it's going to light up your sun sign in Gemini. Okay? So if you have a sun in Gemini, moon in Gemini, ascendant in Gemini, this can apply to you. This is your 3rd house. You're going to have your voice. You're going to get your voice back. And you may find that as a Gemini, all of a sudden you're feeling like, I got to talk. I got to tell everybody. You might be feeling a little moralistic. You might get on a high horse because Leo is all about roaring out there. So be a little careful this year that you're not too dominating. Because typically you guys like to flutter about, but you're going to have a stronger sense of yourself this year, of your communication. And you are going to need to finally speak out. You are going to need to speak your truth. And Jupiter is here to help you do that. Help you speak your truth, finally. Okay, so we're going to talk right now about Cancer. So if you have an ascendant, a moon, or sun sign in Cancer, this could be the theme of the year for you, which I really like for you guys. Jupiter in Leo is going to highlight your 2nd house of money and daily values, how you make your daily money. Now, for the Cancer, you guys have had Jupiter in Cancer all year long, okay? Highlighting your 1st house. Your whole life has been under review, under expansion. Miracles, healings, forgiveness, change, struggle, but you are looking at your life this year. You finally took a very deep look at your life and what it is that you want. You are finally looking. You are finally have looked, and your whole identity has changed. Your title, your name, what you want, and who you are. This is a very important year for you. Write this year down, the one you've just had, from August 2013 until now, the end of July 2014. This has been a monumental year for you. Now you get to finally go to work. All the things that you've been working so hard on behind the scenes are finally going to pay off this year. Jupiter is here to highlight your money house. It's to bring you good gifts and your daily values. What are you working on? You know, my daughter-in-law has been working on getting her law degree. And she's been trying to, pass that test several times, as many do. She's getting ready to take that test again in a few weeks. And I'm like, this is it. You're going to get it. This is your year. You're going to go to work. So these are the kind of things that can happen. I'm sharing some examples with you guys. You can kind of see that my teaching style, I do use my intuition, and sometimes things will come to me. And I used to kind of, think that I was getting off on a tangent, but those tangents might be a message for somebody watching this video specifically. And I'm learning to kind of embrace them. So go with me on my tangents because they might have some insight for you. My husband, another little example story for you. My husband has Jupiter in Cancer at about 26 degrees. So he's had a really rough year. He has Mars in Scorpio. So Saturn has been really hard on him in his work life. And he just, had to work so hard at it. Nothing has been handed to him. It's just been one obstacle after another. And so I told him, I said, if I'm right, and my prediction is right, then in June, July, when Jupiter passes over your Jupiter in Cancer at the exact degrees, your life is going to completely change. The last 2 weeks, as Jupiter has passed over, he had an old friend, of course, Mercury was retrograde, come into his life and basically give him a work truck. Now, 12 years ago, this is how this works, guys. 12 years ago, he was there for his friend and gave him a work truck. And 12 years later, he needed that favor returned. And, he's a pretty prideful guy, so he wouldn't ask. And as soon as Jupiter went right over his chart at the exact degrees, this guy calls out of the blue and says, I got a truck for you. I'm bringing it over. And they were able to make a barter that was like unheard of. So this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. His business has started expanding. People are calling. He's been wanting to get into a certain line of clients in his business, and it's starting to happen. So that's why I want you guys to look not only at your personal planets, but look at the degrees in your houses. So, for example, I was just talking to the Cancers. What degree is your second house in Leo at? Is it at 2.08 degrees? Is it at 15 degrees? Is it 17 degrees? Because throughout the year, you're going to keep an eye on where Jupiter is every day. What degrees is he at? And you can look that up, just like you look up your personal birth chart. You go to a birth chart calculator, you put in the day's date, time, everything for today, and it'll pop up the day chart. It'll pop up a chart for those who would have been born on that day, but it also tells you the weather. That's just an easy way to do it. There's lots of other ways, but that's a simple way. And you can say, where is Jupiter in Leo now? What degrees is he at? He's a slow-moving planet, 1 year, but it's not that slow compared to like Uranus, which is 7-8 years, or Pluto, which is 15-20 years. So it goes pretty quick. Is he in a retrograde? You want to look throughout the year. It's when is Jupiter going to retrograde in Leo? Because if you have those degrees, then he'll come over your degree once, and then he'll go back over your degree, and then he'll come over a third time. So, for example, okay, if you have Jupiter in Leo at 17 degrees, let's say we're talking to you with your Jupiter return, It's kind of another subject, but all connected. And you have it, say, at 17 degrees, and Jupiter goes retrograde at 23 degrees. So he'll have passed over you once, and then he's going to retrograde back past you again. He might retrograde back to 9 degrees, and then he'll come back forward again. This is just examples. I don't have the exact retrogrades in front of me. So you're kind of getting the feel of this. I hope you guys are getting the feel of this. Let's continue on. Now we're going to talk to our Leos. Okay, so if you have a ascendant, sun, or moon in Leo, this is an incredible year for you. An incredible year for you. Now, I said I would talk a little bit about how Jupiter will highlight your personal planets like Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Okay. If you have a moon in Leo and Jupiter is in Leo, I'm going to just let you guys know that sometimes this can create such an expansion of your mind that people might even think you are manic and something is wrong with you. You do have to learn to ride this energy out if you have personal planets in Leo, especially ascendant, sun, and moon. Now, I have Mars in Leo, so I am super, super excited about this because that's my drive. That's my work. You know, with Jupiter in Cancer, it's been kind of a slow process and, you know, just very watery. And I haven't really, you know, had that energy just to really push through the obstacles. They've just been one after another. I can already feel that Mars energy starting to well up in me. Jupiter's starting to expand it. You know, even my talk is faster. Or if you have Venus in Leo, that's your love. That's the good things in life. That is an area of your life that's going to be expanded this year. So you may find the love of your life this year. And you're going to want to look at what degree you have Venus in Leo, because that might be the degree as Jupiter passes over that miraculous event comes into play in your life. For myself, you know, I'm looking at this as the time to build my business because I also have Leo in the 6th house. So I have Mars in Leo being lit up, and I have my 6th house of my daily work and all of those other things, my health, all being lit up. These are going to be highlighted themes for me. So I'm looking forward to that. So Leos, you're going to feel like finally you're going to start feeling the energy. Finally, you're going to start feeling better. Since October of 2012, Leos, Scorpio and Saturn in Scorpio has been transiting your 4th house of home, your home life, your childhood, all those things. Digging up the depth, psychological things, stuff that's been hard on the Leo to deal with. You're almost through the storm. Saturn will be moving out of Scorpio this Christmas, and I believe that Jupiter in Leo is coming to save the day. Coming to start to heal you, start to give you back that roar inside. The hardest thing for a Leo is to lose their confidence. And, you know, Saturn and Scorpio, you know, it's like the Scorpio and the lion fighting each other. To me, those are one of the 2 strongest signs to be squared up. And it's integrating this truth, and yet, you know, the Leo wanting to, you know, be on stage. They don't want to look at those deep, dark things. It takes away the good light of the camera. But we've had to look at it. You know, it's been hitting Mars and Leo in my chart. So my work has been a grind. Nothing has been given to me the last 2.5 years at all. So I'm looking forward for Saturn and Scorpio to get the heck out of there. We'll deal with Saturn and Sagittarius. So this is coming to start to give you back your sense of self, who you are. So Leos, get ready. It's time for you to take your place back on the stand, back on the podium, to gain who you are back, to own what you already know. It's not lost. It's just, you know, everybody had to get real. For us to move into the next stages of life, we all have to get real. And You know, that's what's happened. So here we go. Jupiter and Leo. And again, watch your degrees. Okay. Now, Virgo. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. Jupiter in Leo is going to highlight your 12th house. Okay. Now, this is really, really cool. 12th house is your subconscious. It's kind of the isolated place. You know, sometimes they associate it with like prisons or mental hospitals. I think it's like that deep, dark place. You know, the 12th house is ruled by Pisces, okay? That place that we all go down to, that spiritual place. And for a Virgo, your deepest, darkest spiritual place is filled with sunshine, is filled with creative ideas, is filled with a knowing deep down inside that you have something to contribute, something special. Jupiter is going to highlight this for a whole entire year. So, Virgo, if you are a writer, whatever it is you do, now is the year that the creative side of you may be off the charts. The intuitive side of you, the side of you that knows what happens before what happens practically. You already know the details. Well, you are going to even be more on spot. Trust your instincts and get creative. You know, the dreams that you've always had for yourself, the dreams, now is the year to let them fly. Hopefully you've already been working on them. You know, the last few years for us Virgo has been about really working on reinventing ourselves. So all of 2014 is going to be getting it out there and really connecting with that side of you, that deep side of you. Let the sunshine come in and heal you there. And then in 2015, when Jupiter moves into Virgo, ching ching, put a price tag on it. You know, now it'll be time to get your business going and really do what Virgos do best, and that's providing a service and keeping the energy flowing. We like to harvest and we like to make things useful. So that's what we're doing. This is the year to get out there. Those things that you've been hiding deep in your heart, back in the back place of your mind, maybe you've been too insecure to say, hey, I've got a great idea. Now is the year that idea is going to want to come to the surface. Remember, this is sun energy. This is warm. This is safe. This is comforting. This is fiery. So don't hold back, Virgos. Now is not the time. You guys have come way too far. Way, 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 way too far. Okay, Libras. Libras, Jupiter in Leo is going to highlight your 11th house. Now, Libras and Leos love each other, okay? Because Libras love to get out and socialize, and Leos love to get out and socialize, and, you know, it's a harmonious aspect. It's only 2 planets away, so whenever we have something that's 2 planets away, it's a harmonious aspect. So it's also going to light up your first house. You know, if you have an ascendant, sun, or moon here, these themes are going to be highlighted. Libras, you guys have been through the ringer too, and I'm telling you, now is the time that you'll finally be recognized for your artistic work. Now is the time that masters will come in and take you under their wing and believe in you and give you a chance. Now is the time people will see you as not just somebody in the background, but a skilled worker, whatever it is that you do. Look for people to be coming in your life. You could have very Leo type personalities, strong fire signs coming in and saying, come on, Libra, let's get out. Let's get out of here. You're going to the top. This is an excellent year for you. And this is an excellent year for money as well. Okay? Because remember, Libras, you have Scorpio in the 2nd house, which is your daily money. And Mars, this is a little extra tidbit, Mars is moving into Scorpio this summer and going to highlight your money house. All right, and then it's going to move into Sagittarius, which is your communication to the world. So Libra, you're getting ready to go. You guys are on fire. You're going to take this fire with you like a rocket for the next year. Okay, so hey, Jupiter has been in Cancer in your 10th house. So it's been nurturing you. It's been creating you. It's been little by little, regaining your reputation. But you've had to kind of prove yourself for a whole year, and the money wasn't that great when you're proving yourself, but you had to do it and you did it. Now it's going to be about money, and it's going to be about high-profile people coming in to open the door for you as they allow you to come in. Okay? So that's awesome for you guys. Scorpio. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. Okay, you guys, I say it every time, but I do like to remind people that Saturn has been in Scorpio since October of 2012. And Scorpios, you've been on the front lines of really being recreated, really dealing with the deep, dark psychological stuff. It's hard for the Leo because they don't like to look at deep, dark psychological stuff, typically. And the Scorpio typically loves to dive down into it, but not necessarily when it's your own stuff. You don't know how to do it for everybody else, but nobody really wants to look at that. And because you are a truth seeker, you've had to take this on, and you're tired, and you've worked hard, and you're ready. You're ready to move out and start coming back. And where do I fit into this mix now? And Leo is going to highlight your 10th house. That is your reputation to the world. That is, here I am. See me roar. Scorpios often will hide behind the scenes. No more. Scorpio risings, sun, moon, you guys are coming out. All right? You're coming out, and you're finally saying, you know what? I can do this too. I'm intelligent. I'm insightful, and I have something to say, and I'm no longer going to sit back and let life pass me by. You're coming out this year, okay? So it's going to start really warming up through the summer. You've got Mars in Scorpio. That's going to give you more energy, okay? Then Mars will move into Sagittarius, which is your second house of money this fall. So the next 2.5 years for you guys is going to be about getting your business in order now that you finally know who you are and what you want to do. All right, so before this business starts really taking off, and I use business because we all need to exchange energy. We need to have foundations, financial foundations. But it's also about being authentic to yourself. And it's also about expressing yourself in a very authentic way. And that's what Jupiter in Leo is going to do, is start to give you the confidence to express yourself to the world, to others, and to show them what you've learned. Show them who you are. And express them through your work, through your writing, through your communication, through your healing, whatever it is that you do. And you're getting ready for a really nice welcome, public welcome back. All right, so now we're going to talk about Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius, you guys are a fire sign, and I love this for you. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So this is even a double influence for you Sagittariuses, okay? Sagittarians. This is a double influence for you because you always want to look what Jupiter's doing. That will affect your sun sign. So if Jupiter is in Leo in a fire sign, and you have Sagittarius, your sun sign, your ascendant, your moon, Venus, Mars, you have any of these planets, okay? Obviously, as we go down, they take on different themes. But I hope you guys kind of got the idea that you can look at Venus, you can look at Mars, knowing what the influences of each one of those energies gives off. So here, wherever you have Sagittarius, Jupiter in Leo is trining that. Oh my gosh. And that makes for big ideas, expansive ideas, dreams come true, dreams of a lifetime, Sagittarius. This is your time now to finally step back in. You guys have had a hard time too because Saturn in Scorpio has been in your 12th house, really going down deep into the areas of your life. So as these transitions start to happen, Jupiter in Leo is going to start to bring this beautiful fiery energy in to dry up the rain, to dry up the murky water. You fire signs do not like to be you know, your fire put out. And with Saturn in Scorpio, it's put a lot of fire out. But Jupiter in Leo is coming back to save the day. I guess that's my, my way of expressing it. I keep saying it, but that's really how I feel, that we all need this. So for you, Sagittarius, Jupiter in Leo will be highlighting your 9th house. Now, your 9th house is your house. It's your spiritual house. It's ruled by Jupiter. So there's even a triple blessing here. As Jupiter moves into your 9th house in Leo, it's going to expand your creative ideas. It's going to expand your belief system. It's going to give you confidence to finally find out what it is you believe, who you are. You have the chance to go back to school, to learn from a guru or a master. This is a great time for you guys to get under somebody else and learn something. I know it's hard for the fire signs to do that because, even with my Mars and Leo, it's hard to humble ourselves under somebody else because we kind of do know it all. Excuse me, you guys. Just such a beautiful day today. I wanted to do this outside, but as you can see, it's gotten my allergies going, but I'm having a great time, so I hope it doesn't bother you guys. This is a great time for Sagittarius. Now, this is going to give you energy to prepare you spiritually, to prepare you for the journey that you're about to embark in, that you're about to take a part of as Saturn moves into Sagittarius this Christmas. And, we always talk about Saturn kind of like, ooh, ah-ee, but we all need Saturn. He comes in and he balances things out in our life, and he gets us working towards the goal. It's only a 2.5-year transit to prepare us for the next 29 years, to prepare us for what we're going to do. So right now is very significant for you. With Jupiter and Leo coming in and Saturn coming in, you guys are getting ready to really make your mark in the world. Okay, so I'm excited for you guys. Take full advantage of Jupiter in Leo. All right, so now we're going to talk to Cappies, my Capricorns. Wow. Capricorns, I find it very interesting that you have Leo in the 8th house. It is very interesting because typically Capricorns, you think about, they work so hard and, they've had a lot of hard knocks and everything. But one of the reasons I believe that you are so successful is because in the 8th house, where people typically have most of their problems with financial stuff and inheritances and breakdowns and intimate situations, you guys have the sun there, kind of protecting that house. Now, it is ruled by Mars and Pluto, the 8th house. It's the Plutonic house. But the sun comes in, and it's like this battle between, good and evil in that very intimate place. But with Jupiter coming in, guess what? Good's going to win this year. So, Capricorns, you guys are finally realizing your worth as well. With Pluto highlighting the Capricorns and giving you that volcanic energy, that slow ambition, just building. There's going to be some really positive, wonderful things coming into your life in very deep, intimate ways. And that's a big deal for the Capricorn, to open up that place. There's a lot of joy, and there's going to be a lot of abundance. So, Capricorns, I want you to take a breath and really enjoy this year. Okay, that's my recommendation to you guys. I really feel like some neat things are going to happen in very special places in your life. I hope that makes sense to you. Aquarius. Now, Aquarius, Jupiter in Leo is going to highlight your 7th house. Okay, this is your relationships, and you guys have needed this break. You also have had Saturn in Scorpio squaring your chart, and you guys have been under a lot of intense issues. And Aquariuses don't really like issues. They kind of want to Similar to that Gemini Mercurian energy, Uranus is wanting to flutter about and try new things and not get bogged down. But you've had to deal with a lot of issues. And I find it really exciting that I see some really neat people coming into your life. People that are going to pull you out from behind the scenes and see your worth and see what you've been hiding and pull you out and say, why are you hiding this from the world? Look for relationships that really build your confidence this year, that really encourage you, sincere, heartfelt relationships. Don't be afraid. They may take on a little dominating of a feel because, you guys kind of like to, you enjoy so much just being in your own ideas that if somebody has an idea, sometimes you'll just argue with it because it wasn't your idea first. Don't do that this year because people are going to be brought, partners, relationships are going to be brought into your life to build you back up. Your self-worth has taken a hit the last 2 years. Your everything about you has been up for review, and you've had to look at some deep issues. And Jupiter here is going to bring in the sunshine in your relationships. You're going to have a lot of support and have a lot of strong people coming in to build you back up. So I definitely want to hear how that goes. Okay, last but not least, my dear Pisces. I'm a Pisces rising, and I have a moon in Pisces. So I love my Pisces. Jupiter in Leo in the 6th house. Wow, Pisces. Wow. We have been working behind the scenes with Jupiter and Cancer in our 5th house. We've been creating. It's like making a dinner. We've been making the dinner all year round, putting a little bit of this in, trying a little bit of that, trying this idea, see how that tastes. Start over. We've just been in kind of this dreamy water world of family and creativity and wanting to be home, wanting to hide out, enjoying our families. Guess what? Jupiter in Leo is going to bring us back out, you guys. It's time for us to step back out in the world. It's time for us to socialize. It's time for us to bring joy and fire and hard work and get it done attitude into our daily work. It's time for that fire to light up the daily routine. Let's just face it. We've had a wonderful year walking around in dream world. A wonderful year. We've got to get those ideas down on paper. We've got to get it done. The world's ready for it. They want it. And we have it. It's time to put a bow on it. And the next year is going to be some very hard, consistent schedules. Get a routine. Get out the whip. Keep everybody going. We're moving. We're going. We're doing. No more laying back, Pisces. You're getting in the game. This is the year. Okay, I'm really excited about that for us. I'm kind of ready. I've been in just trying to find my own, and just now I'm starting to feel like I can see a schedule for my future. And you know what, Pisces? You need to visualize it. Don't get caught up in trying to be in somebody else's schedule, because we won't be happy. Create your own schedule. Visualize what you want. Visualize how you want this picture to look the next year. And then you begin to create it. It'll just start to fall in line, and you're going to feel that fire. You might start getting up earlier. It's also going to highlight our health. And, Pisces, we don't always take good care of ourselves. We kind of go back and forth. I'm so glad I have Virgo in my chart because that keeps me focused on, being healthy. But the Pisces, it's just like, drink coffee, don't exercise, be in dream world, listen to music all day, the escapist behaviors. Obviously, they can get worse than that. So if you are dealing with addiction or any of those things that can really get a hold of us, this is the year to take a look at it. This is the year to take a look at it. This is the year to finally focus on you. Well, you guys, if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, and I want to thank you for I want to thank you for supporting this channel and for being a part of this. I kind of want to call this like my afterglow. The videos that you see on YouTube, you know, they're for a general forum, but I like to try to get deeper in these videos. So if you have any questions, you guys exclusively will be able to write below, and I'll be answering questions. If there's anything I said that didn't make sense or you want me to clarify, please ask. Also, I will be at the end of the month tallying up all your names, putting them in a hat. I will be contacting you if you are the winner of that free reading. So this is so exciting. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have an awesome transition into Jupiter and Leo. Make sure you celebrate. It's going to be a great year, guys. Bye now.
Take me by the hand and lead me carefully. Show me that you love me, girl, and I